Hello, everybody. This is my first time doing a YouTube video for a message. Um, the other day I was driving to work and I saw this little boy who looked like he may have been with his mother. He looked like he was about 3 years old and he was carrying a backpack. The backpack was almost as big as he was. It brought this message up in my spirit. What are you putting in your child's backpack? And I'm looking back and forth because I have notes. And I'm not talking about notebooks, pencils, glue. You know, as adults, many of us carry baggage around from the pain of our past, from our childhood. What are you putting in your child's backpack? Are you putting in verbal abuse? Are you putting in emotional abuse by ignoring them when they talk to you? Are you putting in physical abuse? Are you putting in or allowing in sexual abuse? These things are very serious and major issues. You know, there are times where what we put in our child's backpack is very subtle, very subtle. Are we showing them how to treat others with value, respect, and kindness? I found myself at one point snatching from my son, snatching things out of his hand when he handed them to me. You know, and then when I saw that same behavior repeated to me, I got on him about it, right? But then later the Holy Spirit said, but you snatched things from him. So I had to check myself and I had to stop doing it. And I had to admit to my son some of these things. I said, son, I realized that I've been snatching things out of your hand when you hand them to me. You know, that's not very kind. And I told him, I'm not going to do that anymore because that's not how I want to treat you. I had to check myself and I had to be transparent with my son. So perhaps I took that out of his backpack by doing that. I had to check myself again. You know, there are subtle ways where we put negative things in our child's backpack. And one of those ways that I realized I was doing that very thing, that was not giving him eye contact when he was telling me something. He's talking to me. You know, he's telling me something. He's talking to me and I'm not looking up from the computer, not looking up from the phone, not looking up from the paper, not looking up from the stove while I'm cooking, just not giving him eye contact. You know, something as subtle as that can be a form of emotional abuse because what you're saying is you're not valuable enough for me to stop what I'm doing. It's an abusive act. So when I saw the same behavior in him, my son was kind of like my mirror, you know. The Holy Spirit said to me once again, yeah, but you're not giving him eye contact when you're busy doing something, when he's speaking to you. So again, I had to come clean with my son. I had to be transparent and say, you know, son, I realize that when you're talking to me, I haven't been giving you eye contact. And you know what? That's not how I want to treat you. And that's not how I want you to treat others or me. I said, I'm going to stop doing that, son. And I did. And you know, I took that out of his emotional backpack. Today, my son is 24 years old. When someone's speaking to him, he gives them eye contact. He shows them he's listening. He shows them he values what they're saying. He shows them he respects them enough to give them eye contact and let them know he's listening. When he hands people stuff or receives stuff from people, it's done in a kind way. He doesn't snatch. I know there's probably some things that I put in his backpack and some things that I couldn't protect him from that are in his backpack. I want you to be intentional now while you're raising your child. My son is 24 now, so he's going to have to deal with the weight of what's in his backpack. He's going to have to unpack it himself now. He's 24. I had much to unpack. My backpack was very, very, very heavy. I had to unpack abandonment. When my parents separated and ultimately divorced, I felt abandoned. I had to unpack emotional abuse. Often when I talked to my mom, she ignored me. She probably just had her own stuff, she was dealing with. I had to unpack parental alcoholism. My mother was a blackout drinker. She was a functional alcoholic, but every day she blackout drank. And it continued through my adult years. It continued. Started right around, I guess I was about 13. I had to unpack sexual abuse. The very first time I was sexually abused, I was only 4. And it happened a few other times after that. I had to unpack rape. At age 11, I was raped by one of my friend's brothers. I had to unpack incest, which led to pregnancy and ultimately an abortion. I had to unpack low self-esteem, a broken boundary system, promiscuity, which came from the sexual confusion of all of the sexual abuse. I had to unpack broken family, divorce, my parents' divorce, my divorce, and codependency. Some of these things my parents put in my backpack, and some were put there by others. It took me some counseling, years of recovery to unpack my backpack. Your child may be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. You still have time. You still have time to lighten up their backpack. So what do you want to be in your child's backpack? That's the question. Whatever you want to be in your child's backpack, you need to be thinking about it now. You need to think about it. Not through what you're teaching and telling them, but how you're acting around them, how you're acting towards them, how you're treating them, how you're treating others. These are the things that you will do to help lighten their backpack. True, some things you won't be able to protect them from, no matter how hard you try, and those things may end up in their backpack. But decide right now, today, that you're going to be the parent to make sure their backpack is light. And I want to quote Frederick Douglass. He said, "It's easier to build strong children than to fix broken men." Thank you for watching.